Okay, so we're diving into something pretty interesting today. Uh, Shifting timeline, stepping into a new reality.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
It is, it is. Right, and this is by Shawn Wondunna Foley, just came out March 17th, 2025.
Very recent.
Yeah, so really fresh. And, we're looking at this idea of a timeline shift.
Okay.
What does that mean, and what does this article suggest about its implications for all of us?
Yeah, I'm
Me
curious.
too, me too. So, right out of the gate, this article says something kind of intense. It talks about people potentially turning against you
Oh,
as you step into a new timeline.
what do you think that means?
Well, it really grabbed my attention. Like right away, I thought, what is that? Is that like literal rejection from people, or is it something more
I
symbolic?
think it's got to be a little bit more symbolic, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you'd hope people would be happy for you if you're,
Yeah, right.
making positive changes in your life. But I think what the article's getting at is this idea that sometimes as we grow and evolve, our values and priorities might shift. And not everyone around us is going to understand or embrace those changes.
Yeah,
So it doesn't have to be this huge dramatic falling out,
right.
but it might be more of a gradual growing apart, you know?
Mm.
Like we choose different paths. You go this way, I go that way.
Yeah, it makes you think of like, those moments where you're trying to break free from an old pattern or belief
Absolutely.
that no longer serves you.
Yeah.
And it can be so hard, especially when everyone around you is still kind of stuck in it.
Yeah, it's like you're speaking a different language almost,
Right, exactly.
and they don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, and there is that, like you said, comfort in the status quo.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if it's not good for us.
We're creatures of habit, right?
We are.
So to step into a new timeline, sometimes you have to step outside that comfort zone,
Hmm.
and that can be really unsettling for people who aren't ready to do that.
Totally, totally. And that actually leads perfectly into another point that the article brings up, this idea of a global awakening.
Oh, and
That's happening right now.
okay.
Like it even says 70% of people worldwide are saying they're feeling more spiritually connected
Wow.
than they did 5 years ago.
So that's a huge percentage of people.
I know, it's crazy.
Huh.
So what do you think about this whole awakening thing?
I mean, it's definitely a fascinating time to be alive, right?
It is.
It seems like everywhere you look, people are starting to become aware of how interconnected we all are,
Uh-huh.
and they're longing for something more than just like material possessions and success.
Yeah.
It's like this collective shift in consciousness.
Right.
People are yearning for something more authentic, more fulfilling.
It's almost like we're all starting to hum on a slightly different frequency now.
Okay. I like that analogy.
And this article seems to suggest that this shift in frequency could actually be influencing our collective timeline.
Right, because our energy, our thoughts, our beliefs, all that contributes to the collective.
So it all goes into the pot, right?
Exactly.
So then this is where the article gets super interesting. It talks about a split in the timeline
Oh, wow.
to represent this kind of divergence between the old ways of being and this new emerging consciousness.
Okay, so like a fork in the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So on one hand, you have the familiar path,
Right.
the one we all know, fear, scarcity, separation.
Right, the old paradigm.
But on the other hand, there's this potential for a new reality
Okay.
based on love and abundance and unity.
So which way do we go?
Well, that's the big question,
Yeah.
right? But I'm curious about this split. Is this like a literal split in time
No, I don't think so.
or more of a symbolic thing?
I think it's definitely more symbolic.
Okay.
It's not about time literally splitting apart,
Gotcha.
but more about recognizing that we have a choice in which path we want to align with.
Right.
It's about deciding which reality we want to co-create.
So it's not just about observing the shift.
No.
It's about actively participating.
Exactly.
Right.
We have agency.
We do. Okay. So that brings us to one of the most empowering parts of the article, I think, where it really emphasizes
Yeah,
that our beliefs, our thoughts and emotions are so powerful
they really are.
that they literally shape our reality.
I mean, think about it. Every creation, every invention,
Yeah.
it all started with a thought,
Right.
a belief.
Yeah. And the article really stresses the importance of seeing it, feeling it, believing it,
Oh, I love that.
which totally reminds me of manifestation, right?
It absolutely does.
Where we're actively focusing our energy on what we want.
Yeah, you're putting it out there.
We are so, it's not just about wishing for a better world.
I know.
It's about embodying the change we want to see.
Living it, breathing it.
Living it, breathing it, being it.
Yes, exactly.
So, and then the article ends with this powerful call to action, urging us to embrace the shift and trust in this higher timeline.
I like that.
So for someone listening to this who's feeling inspired,
Yeah.
what's a good first step?
Well, I would say start with yourself.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your inner world, what's going on inside.
Oh,
Try some meditation or mindfulness. Just notice your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs,
right.
and ask yourself, are these aligned with the reality I want to create?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right. And if not, how can you start to shift them?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anything drastic.
Okay.
Even small changes in your daily routine can make a difference.
Like what?
Well, like choosing gratitude over complaint,
Okay.
kindness over judgment.
Yeah.
These little things can have a ripple effect on your energy
Right.
and how you experience the world.
So it's about becoming conscious creators of our reality,
Exactly.
both individually and collectively.
That's the key.
That's the key. I love it. So as we wrap up this deep dive into shifting timelines,
Yeah.
I'm left with this question for our listener.
Hmm.
If you could step into a new timeline,
Hmm.
what would it look and feel like?
Hmm.
And what choices can you make today to start aligning with that vision?
That's a great question to ponder.
It is something to think about, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
This was fun.
It was. Until next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.